Crusader Kings 3 isn't your average strategy game. In fact, it's probably the only game where marrying your cousin to claim a throne is not just allowed, it's a solid tactic. If you're on the fence about picking it up, here's the short version. CK3 is huge, deep, and absolutely worth it, if you're ready to put in the time to learn it. I'm ThePixelPundit. Let's see if I can get through this review without collapsing a dynasty. So what is CK3? At its core, you're playing as a medieval ruler. Anything from a lowly count to a mighty emperor. Your goal? Survival and legacy. You'll be managing land, politics, religion, diplomacy, and family drama all at once. And unlike most strategy games, this isn't about a nation, it's about a dynasty. When you die, you play as your heir, and the chaos continues. First off, creativity is king here. Every playthrough feels like writing your own medieval soap opera, where you're both the writer and the star. Every decision, whether assassinating a rival, marrying off your heir to snag more land, or deciding which vassals to trust, ripples through the game in ways you might not see immediately. A single choice can echo decades later, changing the balance of power, the fate of your dynasty, or even the map itself. And sometimes your brilliant plan succeeds. Sometimes it spectacularly backfires, and often it's a mix of both, because in CK3, chaos is always lurking just around the corner. And the best part? The game gives you the freedom to experiment, fail, or manipulate history however you like, making each campaign feel entirely your own. Second, the paths to power are endless. You can go full military, raise an army and conquer Europe, one province at a time, or maybe politics is more your style. Manipulate alliances, marry off heirs, and pull strings from behind the throne. You can even start as a nobody in a tiny country and claw your way to emperor over generations. The freedom is incredible. The maps of Europe, Asia, and Northern Africa are massive and full of unique cultures, religions, and challenges, meaning every campaign feels different. You can build sprawling empires, strategically place relatives as rulers, and watch your dynasty expand, or implode, in ways only CK3 can deliver. And yes, sometimes that means your cousin is in charge of a kingdom now, and that's just fine. Lastly, Paradox DLC actually delivers here. Unlike a lot of developers who slap a price tag on minimal content, CK3's expansions add meaningful depth to the game. From new cultures, religions, and mechanics to expanded story events and ways to interact with your dynasty, each DLC feels like it genuinely enriches your playthrough. The best part? The content is reasonably priced. So you're not paying for fluff, you're paying for hours of new strategies, stories, and chaos to enjoy. In short, if you're ready to dive deeper into your dynasty, the DLC makes the game feel even bigger and more dynamic. One of CK3's best features is that no two stories are alike. You could start as a tiny Irish noble, and 200 years later your dynasty rules half the map. Or maybe your line ends because your only heir got mauled by a bear on a hunting trip. Both outcomes feel just as possible, and that unpredictability is what makes the game legendary. Now the flip side, CK3 is a beast to learn. This isn't a game you pick up for 20 minutes and suddenly understand. The tutorial helps, but expect to spend your first few hours googling terms like de jure and wondering why every vassal hates you. Also, multiplayer sounds great in theory, but in practice, it's messy. There are frequent desyncs, and speeding up the game almost guarantees someone gets dropped. Nothing kills a good backstabbing plot like a friend disappearing mid-war. Crusader Kings 3 isn't just a game, it's a commitment. If you're willing to climb the learning curve, it's one of the most rewarding strategy experiences out there. Every decision matters, every playthrough tells a new story, and if you let it, this game will own your weekends. If that sounds like your kind of chaos, buy it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go convince my son to stop plotting my murder again.